So we're going to continue with our next section, team performance, starting with team evaluation. We're still using the data of Fuerza Regia, and as you can see, once you are in this section, you can see a data set of your entire season, game by game, with the traditional box score and other special metrics that we use. So it's important to clarify that team evaluation, you can only see your team. You can't see the data set of other teams. That's possible, but only if you are part of the All-Star plan, which includes scouting, which allows you to visualize pretty much the data of any team on your league. So in this case, you're looking at your own dashboard, your own data set. And we start with the first metric for team performance, which is efficiency differential. And here again, we use more than anything line graphs. So the user can visualize, for example, in the case of Fuerza Regia, how much their efficiency differential fluctuated over time during the 2023 season. And we also specify the definition of each metric. In this case, efficiency differential is the gap between a team's offensive efficiency and the defensive efficiency. And we display the team's current efficiency differential. Our next metric for team performance is point differential, which is the gap between points scored and points allowed. And also represented here with a line graph, so you can identify any trend or pattern. We also have our next metric, which is 4 factors. And the 4 factors are metrics that correlate closely with winning basketball games. And these factors also identify a team's strategic strength and weakness. In the case of Fuerza Regia, we can see the 4 factors. And the 4 factors are always effective shooting percentage, turnover percentage, offensive rebound percentage, and free throw percentage. Here you can see out of these 4 factors, which factor is the biggest strength of Fuerza Regia. In this case would be effective shooting percentage. Our next metric for team performance is possessions. And it's very easy to understand. We'll display the team possessions and the opponent possessions on average, which means that during the 2023 season, Fuerza Regia averaged 73 possessions per game, while their opponents averaged 23.3, so it was pretty similar, and we show that also in a line graph. So user can identify and compare their possessions against the opponent possessions. Next, we go to team offense. Starting with offensive efficiency, which is kind of like offensive rating. We display the offensive efficiency of the team, also represented with a line graph. We show the true shooting percentage, which is a metric that factors a team's performance at the free throw line. And we show the current true shooting percentage of the team. Next, we show offensive rebounds. Assists. We show also transition offense, which is a very simple metric that you can obtain by dividing fast break points by steals, and this metric gives us an idea of how teams execute transition offense, also represented with a line graph. And our last section for team performance is team defense. Here also we display defensive efficiency, which would be the same as defensive rating in the case of individual players. So defensive efficiency is the number of points a team allows per 100 possessions. And we show the team's current defensive efficiency, also represented with a line graph. We have defensive rebounds, steals, and transition defense, which would be the opposite of transition offense. Here you divide opponents' fast break points by opponents' steals. And this metric gives you an idea of how well your team executes transition defense. So those are the metrics that we use to evaluate teams, and it all comes from the team's dataset. Our next section is game reports, so let's continue.